Well, hello, folks. This is Papa D coming to you from David Delivers Space here in Central Florida. And we've got a SpaceX launch tonight. Hopefully, we've had some delays on it already. We're waiting for SpaceX to go live. But it is the Astra 1P SES-24 mission, which is a wide-beam satellite that's being launched for public broadcasters that will be broadcasting for Germany, France, and Spain. High quality and cost-effective coverage. So this is going to be a flight out of Kennedy this evening, and it's booster 1080, flight number 9 of that booster. Quick 27-day turnaround and a 330th Falcon recovery attempt, which will be on just read the instructions. And again, we were scheduled for earlier this evening, a T0 of just around 5:30. We are looking to go live with SpaceX, hopefully in the next few minutes. We are still on a time for T0 about 14 and a half minutes out at 8:23 Eastern Daylight Time. So at this point in time, we are just waiting for the feed. Want to go ahead and thank a couple folks right away. Been away for about a week. We've been on a little vacation, had some family in from out of town, and it's also been a very slow week overall for launches. The SpaceX cadence has slowed down quite a bit, but we got some things going off this week. We are expecting another launch this evening. We've got Electron going off hopefully on Thursday, and Friday another Starlink launch out of the Cape. So do our best to cover as much of that as possible. But again, thank you to SpaceX. Appreciate them putting all this coverage out, and of course the high quality video for us to enjoy and share with each other. And I'd like to also thank Maddness Productions for the bumper music, as well as a huge thanks to our subscribers. Appreciate every one of you. If y'all could continue to like those videos, hit the notify button so we can let you know when we have a new offering. It's going to be coming your way. If you're not a subscriber, we would love to have you consider being a member of the family. Look around, check out what we do. We try to get as many of the launches out there and special events. Going to be some special events coming up this week. We've just had a delay on the Boeing issues, and that ship will not be leaving any earlier than the 26th, but that's a separate issue for another discussion. Tonight, again, we do have the Astra launch, and we are hoping to bring that to you. Right now, we are still pending for the SpaceX feed. We are expecting that hopefully any time now. Should have been a few minutes ago. But this is a private launch, and this is, again, for the Astra folks. And this will be launching out of Slick 40, out of Cape Canaveral Space Force Station here in Florida. Conditions are not optimal. We have had a windy day. We've had rain here, and last I checked, conditions were about a 55 to 60% go for a launch. So we may be looking at another delay, maybe not. But we're going to stand by here and keep checking as soon as we can pull that feed through. And we're getting ready to take the feed right now at T-minus about 11 minutes. So we will switch over here in just a second. But thanks again to all you for coming out. Thank you for all your support. And thank you for keeping an eye on the place while I was out of pocket there for about a week. But we are back on the scene, and we'll bring as much of this coverage as we possibly can to you. So with that said, we'll stand by here for just a couple seconds. We'll switch over the feed. We will switch over to the SpaceX feed for the Astra 1P SES-24 launch. Thanks, guys. Thanks for everything you do. Thanks for your support.
p.m. Eastern Time. But for now, let's learn a little bit more about the Falcon 9 supporting today's flight. Falcon 9 is a two-stage rocket that is designed and manufactured by SpaceX for the reliable and safe transport of people and payloads into Earth orbit and beyond. It is the most flown U.S. launch vehicle ever, and currently it's the only orbital-class rocket capable of reflight. The entire vehicle stands 229 feet tall, or about the height of a 21-story building. The bottom two-thirds of the vehicle is the first stage, also referred to as the booster. Not only is the first stage the largest part of the rocket, but it's also the portion of the rocket that we attempt to land for future reuses. Today's booster will be flying for the 9th time, having previously supported Axiom 2, Axiom 3, CRS-30, Euclid, and 4 Starlink missions. At liftoff, Falcon 9's first stage accelerates through the Earth's atmosphere and into space using 9 Merlin 1D engines. Together, these Merlin 1D engines, or M1Ds, deliver 1.7 million pounds of thrust. Upon separating from the second stage at about 2.5 minutes into flight, it'll return to Earth using a combination of those M1Ds and 4 titanium grid fins located near the top of the booster, which will guide the booster during its re-entry and landing. After stage separation, the booster will be attempting to land on our drone ship Just Read the Instructions, as you see there on your screen, which is currently parked out in the Atlantic Ocean. Landing a booster is a bit like flying a pencil over the Empire State Building and trying to land it on a shoebox on the other side. Oh, in the middle of a windstorm. Meanwhile, Stage 2 will continue to its target altitude, where it will deploy today's payload, the Astra 1P satellite. The second stage sits above the first stage and has a single Merlin vacuum, or MVAC engine, that ignites after the first stage separates. The Falcon 9's first and second stages are connected by the black carbon fiber interstage, which houses the MVAC engine nozzle and the system that decouples the two stages during stage separation. And located above the second stage is the payload fairing, and that is the large barrel structure at the very top of the rocket, which you see right there on your screen. Inside that fairing is the Astra 1P payload, which you can see here, which you see the payload fairing there, and inside that is the Astra 1P payload. These are 17 feet in diameter, and the carbon composite fairings protect satellites on their way to orbit and are jettisoned approximately 3 minutes into flight. The fairing halves supporting today's mission are both flight proven, with one half flying for its 6th time and the other half flying for the 7th time. After separation from the second stage, both fairing halves will return to Earth and will be recovered by our recovery team on board our recovery vessel, Bob. Bob is already deployed and ready to head over to those fairings once they land. Now, for now, here's more on today's telecommunications satellite.
Television has been an indispensable part of our lives ever since its invention, bringing people together and connecting them through shared experiences. SES's satellites have been playing a pivotal role in delivering favorite content to viewers for decades. And now, we're thrilled to have our innovative Astra 1P satellite embark on its journey to space to do exactly that for years to come. Built by Thales Alenia Space, Astra 1P is the most powerful wide-beam satellite ever to broadcast from SES's prime orbital slot at 19.2 degrees east, with a sole mission to deliver superior TV viewing experiences to 190 million TV households across Germany, France, Spain, and beyond. With superior reliability, wide reach, and unparalleled image quality, public and private broadcasters, sports organizations, and content owners can rely on Astra 1P to reach their audiences across Europe.
I'm super excited that you joined us for this launch of Astra 1P. Astra 1P will replace 4 existing satellites and seamlessly take over their mission of delivering prime content to 119 million TV households across Europe. That is more than 300 million people. This satellite will serve some of our largest media customers like Sky, Canal+, Telefonica, and RTL to deliver the valued, high-quality content to their customers. And it will also address the growing demand of sports and events, so that customers like NFL and various football leagues can easily distribute their content across Europe. And of course, Astra 1P will also ensure the delivery of high-definition content directly to our subscribers of HD Plus Business, which is the high-definition satellite TV platform in Germany. Let's go ahead and see this launch.
Unfortunately, while we were in that customer package, we did hear the unfortunate news that due to the winds that we mentioned earlier in the webcast, that we are forced to stand down from today's launch attempt. However, the vehicle and the payload remain in good health, and as I mentioned before, our next launch opportunity is tomorrow, June 19th, with a 2-hour and 49-minute launch window opening at 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. As always, thanks for watching, and we hope to see everyone back here for that next attempt. Have a good evening.
All right, folks. As you heard, we are standing down tonight for this launch. Unfortunately, as I said before, the conditions have been far from optimal here in Florida today, and hopefully with that 2-hour plus launch window tomorrow evening, we can get this candle lit and get it off the ground. But as for now, it was indicated the payload and the spacecraft are healthy. No problems with the ground equipment. It was all weather related, primarily cloud cover and high winds at ground level. We've got the beginning of, I think, our first tropical depression forming out in the Gulf, and that's giving us a start to our hurricane season and honestly just issues with launches. So one thing I'd like to bring up, give you a little update here with respect to the Starliner. Most of you have probably heard this, but Starliner was planned to be undocked from the International Space Station on Saturday. That has now been moved again, and it'll be no later, per NASA and per Boeing, no earlier than the 26th. Not mistaken, that's next Wednesday. But the 26th, no earlier than. Apparently they are still working on the helium leak issues, and as we all feared, that has become more of an issue, I think, than possibly Boeing or anyone has yet disclosed to us, or at least admitted to. So at this point, the astronauts will be staying on board the International Space Station through next week. And, of course, you have seen the videos and heard the discussions and the loops on the chat groups. And there's a whole lot of discussion how this ends up and whether the craft can be made safe enough. And generally, we're also talking concerns relating to the heat shield, relating to those parachutes, too. There were parachute issues. Of course, they were tested and retested and deemed safe. But I think there's a little consternation on the part of NASA and Boeing. And we'll see how it all goes. But there's been certainly some backroom discussion on the channels anyway, if something needs to be done to have another, trying to pick the words carefully, but have another avenue to get the astronauts off the space station. And we can all, as a group, guess what that is. So we'll keep a close eye out for that, and if there's any updates to it, certainly you will have them and you'll receive them through us also. But right now, Starliner is to remain docked at the ISS through next Wednesday at a minimum, while Boeing and NASA continue to work the issues relating to the helium leaks, which now are up to 5, I believe, and some other issues that they have some concerns about. And we wish them only the best, but we know they will do what needs to be done to bring the astronauts home safely and make a determination with respect to what needs to be done to have this second way to get astronauts to the space station safely and efficiently. So we will keep a track on that. But for anyway, for this evening, the SpaceX launch, as you heard, was scrubbed. Weather issues were just overwhelming for this evening, and we will be back tomorrow evening. We do have a launch scheduled for this evening from Vandenberg. That is a Starlink launch, Starlink Group 9-1, and right now it has been pushed to 11:40. So, as with Vandenberg launches, we all expect a push or two. So we'll see where that ends up this evening. But right now, we have a T0 time of 11:40 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and we'll see where it all goes on that one. Either way, we'll be back tomorrow evening, see if we can get this one off the ground. Again, thank you to SpaceX for the coverage. Thank you to Maddness Productions for the music. And thank you to our subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider being one. Hit that button. Ring those bells. Hit that notify button. Papa D appreciates every one of you. And please continue to like and please continue to watch the videos. As much as you might not believe it, those likes and positive comments all matter. YouTube picks that up and it helps us grow the page and get out to more and more people. So with that, guys, I'll say good evening. I hope you had a great day. Hope you have a great evening, and we will catch you later this evening if we have a launch. And if not, we will catch you back here tomorrow evening, and we will, again, look at getting Astra 1P off the ground. You'll have a great evening. Thanks for everything, and have a great night.